I think we've still got this image of a homeless man on the street with that brown paper bag, a big beard, like this old man or something, or I don't know, this sort of, and it's just not the way it is.
Cheered up my day.
Yeah?
I feel like a new person.
Humanising the issue is a really big thing. So humanising it, bringing it down to one person really helps. Because when you say this is somebody, this is how old they are, this is where they're from, within that first paragraph, you've already got people's attention, you've already gone, all right, okay, now maybe I'm listening to what his story is. It's just that typical image of homelessness once more, which is it's just too big to help, don't know how to help. So humanising the issue is what it's about.
So, do you mind me asking, mate, you still got like family up north? Or?
I've got kids, but they don't know I'm like this.
We met Kenny. He had his own business about 5 years ago. He was in a very normal situation, like a lot of us. He had some issues in his personal life. I think he started drinking a bit, and things just got out of control. He said he's sort of lost motivation. He has a couple of children, and they'd already grown up and moved out. He didn't even want to ask his kids to go and stay with them. He didn't want them to know that their dad was like in a situation that wasn't right.
That lad said to you about you being on YouTube.
Well, yeah. Did you?
Yeah, it's like, so people do look at homeless people, don't they? You know what I mean?
Of course, mate, yeah.
I think one of the best things is what we're doing with social media. We're really using this as a powerful thing to spread this message. From doing this, I've also experienced so many people who are doing amazing things, and I don't think that's in the mainstream as much as it should be. I think some people are in a place in their life where they might think there's a hell of a lot of bad in the world, and I think people need to see the good, and that's what we're trying to do with this movement, with hashtag Do Something Nothing. It's about putting those messages out there, having good news stories also to inspire people to feel good and feel like they can make positive change. So it's really positive to get that out there to as many people as possible. But I don't want anybody I meet to feel like they're a tourist attraction. I think a lot of people, news channels and stuff, this is just a good news story for them. It's, if you're going to get that story, go, but at least buy them some lunch or something. Like, at least do something. Whether you're an accountant at the top of a firm, whether you're smashing it, making some coffee every day, whatever you're doing, even using a bit of your time each week to directly help somebody, it's going to inspire others.
A bit of a shave. Yeah, looking true, mate. Very good, mate. Thank you very much.
This is like apolitical, religion, you know what I mean? It's just, there's no labels with this whatsoever. It's accessible for everyone, to everyone.
So what for you, was it like something stronger, or when you were actually a drug addict?
Heroin and crack.
Yeah.
James was in prison quite recently, and he did something really stupid. He robbed this cafe, and he was high as a kite when he did it. Him and his girlfriend were used together. So they had this kind of like, I've heard of that before, you know, where sometimes the person you'd think would try and pull you out of that is so much in there with you, which can be quite destructive. Now he got out of prison, his girlfriend didn't want to know him anymore. There's a real lack of services provided to someone when they come out of the juvenile system like that. So he's on the street. So I spoke to him about family, but there's been a lot of relationships that have, unfortunately, he burnt in that period that he was with his girlfriend. I really enjoy that. I really enjoy the transition and seeing somebody feel more confident, open up their shoulders a bit, lift their head up a bit higher. When you spend time with somebody, half an hour, 45 minutes for a haircut, you can get to know somebody. You know, people open up to you. It's quite an intimate thing. When something shit happens, you can go and sit on a psychiatrist's chair, shop yourself to death in like Regent Street or Oxford Street or something, but I genuinely believe the best way to deal with that is go out and do some good shit. That doesn't cost anything, it just takes your time.
What do you like?
Anything we will do. Thank you so much, Darren, that's great.
I can't think of something else I could do that makes me feel all right again about whatever that is. That's nuts, and I feel like it's almost like an epiphany, but it's existed forever when you might choose to access that in your life. And what we're trying to do is shove it in people's faces now and call them in. It's not about calling people out. It's not about saying, what aren't you doing? Why aren't you doing this? It's just about going, here's what I'm doing now. If you fancy a bit of this, then like, come on in, because it's exciting when I'm doing this. I'll say what they want, and they won't really know, and I'll just say, I'll just make you look beautiful.
I'll just make you look beautiful.
Yeah. That's how I get all women.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a hot chocolate.
Yeah, of course.
No sugar.
No sugar.
Because it has sugar in it and milk.
God, you're right. That's true.
Yeah, David was great. He's one of those people you meet who's just like really optimistic, and you wonder how he's so optimistic in his situation.
Down a bit, and I'll tuck it all into it.
I asked him about his parents, and he said he doesn't see them anymore. it seems to me like he's coming from a place where he's had a bit of a vulnerable upbringing in certain ways. He said his dad was in the army. I don't think he's necessarily somebody who probably would find it that easy to go and type him up a CV.
It'd be nice to have a haircut. It would make me look better. And you know how much extra haircut now? £10.
Yeah, well that's in a barber's, mate. If you go into a salon, it's more than that.
About 20 quid.
Plus. Yeah.
Plus,
Would you believe it? Yeah. And sort of followed us afterwards, and I really like that. He felt immediately like we were just on his level, which is good, and that says a lot for how you approach the situation, for sure. When I started hairdressing, I realised how important it is, that interaction with that person when you're doing that. I think as hairdressers, we have a very important role we play with the client in front of us. It's about thinking about how you can use that skill for good, whether that's in any kind of charitable way or whether that's being creative to inspire others. I think we all realise that this industry is very much about inspiration, it's about sharing. I think after the first haircut, I realised it can really be a movement where other people can get involved and join in with this. It doesn't matter whether you have a skill or not, it's about trying to bring people who feel invisible in society back into the light. A girl, it was like in New York actually, a post where she just took her own initiative and went, what can I do? And she went and had lunch with this lady who's like in her mid-90s in an old people's home. It's just cool because that's equally as nice. That's somebody who's also kind of forgotten about. You know, it's that easy. If you've got 20 minutes and you go buy somebody on the street a coffee, just say, do you know what, mate, I'm going to go for a coffee as well. Like, let's head over to that place over the road and just chat. You know, it's nice. Again, it's not going to change their world, but it's going to make them hopefully feel a little bit more valued.
It's a psychological thing more than anything else. They need other people. They need somebody to empathise with them and have sympathy with them, no matter what.
I guess it's a little rebellion because it's me having that one-on-one direct way of doing it is enough to make me feel empowered as a human. It is a bit of like a mini revolution of my own. Yeah.